Welcome to Royal Destiny Media. Today we'll be reviewing Nigeria February 25 presidential election. Our focus on this review will be the statistics of Nigerians as it pertains to the number of voters, the election of the president-elect. And before we go deep into our analysis, we definitely like to look at one or two things. The presidential election in Nigeria took place on February 25, 2023. The governing body for election in Nigeria had prepared everyone's mind towards the D-Day, February 25, 2023. There were contestants in the race, right from primaries on the platform of each political party fielding candidates, trying to field candidates for the exalted office of President of Nigeria. At the primaries, many dropped and only one candidate emerged on the platform of each presidential, political party rather. And overall, we had 18 presidential candidates from 18 political parties, duly registered, duly accredited by the governing body, which is the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, headed by Professor Mahmoud Yakub. The election in Nigeria, especially the presidential election, is seen as a race that must be keenly contested, and also a race that determines not just the direction of the political party on the platform of which the candidates emerges, but on the generality or the general well-being of every Nigerian, and especially the destiny of Nigeria as a country. Therefore, this election holds a lot to Nigerians both home and abroad. And you can see a lot of effort, a lot of competition put into the election. But there are a few things that need to be considered when it comes to this presidential race, this specific presidential race of 2023. If we look at the election result declared by INEC, we have 18 presidential candidates, 18 of them. And of these 18, we have 1 female and 17 male candidates. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, was declared winner of the election with 8,794,726 votes, followed by Abubakar Atiku, the former vice president of the country, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party. So the presidential candidates on the platform of APC is Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is now the president-elect as announced by INEC. If you look at the result again, we will see that out of the 18 candidates, 4 of them emerge in this structure. So Nigeria, this particular election has introduced into Nigeria 2 extra legs. In the past elections, 2019, 2015, and on like that, it has always been 2 major political parties. There will be so many political parties that will register, but eventually the election will be keenly contested between 2 major political parties. But this time around, we have 3 that actually had votes enough in 12 states, or that won 12 states each, or maybe 11, 12, 12, like that, and 1 that won a state. Others did not win any states. So that has introduced extra party or extra leg into the structure of Nigerian political landscape. It's no more 2-party states. Nigeria now run beyond that. And looking at Peter Obi in his uniqueness in this race, he is a new entrant into the game, especially at presidential level, but had massive support of the youth because his campaign resonated with them in the area of developing competence, capacity, and talking about how to rid the nation of corruption. So that is why he was able to move that fast up the ladder. Now let's continue to in our review. The next thing we want to look at here is how many Nigerians actually registered to vote. Percentage of registered voters participation in Nigeria 2023 presidential election. So out of over 200 million Nigerians, we know it is not everyone that is qualified to have a permanent voter's card or is eligible to vote, but over 93 million qualified and registered, and they had their permanent voter's card. Out of these over 93 million Nigerians, only 27%, let's just round it up to 94, let's say it is 94 in our analysis, 94 million. Out of this 94 million, just about 27% of the 94 million turned out on the presidential election day, went to the polling booth to cast their votes. That's about 73% of those that are duly registered to vote did not turn up for the election. That shows that many went out to register and collect the permanent voter's card, the PVC, probably to satisfy the government, probably thinking the government may use the card or they may have a need for that card in future for maybe banking and some other processes, not because they actually wanted to vote. These statistics show that not even a half, not even 1/3 of the population of those that are registered to vote turn up on the election date, on the election day rather. So now the question is, why do people register but fail to turn up on the election day to perform their civic duty when this presidential race actually determines their economy, their future, the policy and laws that will guide what they do within the confine of the country? Yet, they did not come out. One reason, which is obvious from the conduct of the election, is fear for their life. Thugs were seen at many polling units carrying out attack on people they considered opposition, forcing people in some cases to cast votes for candidates that they represent. Another reason could be lack of trust in the process. There is a common saying among Nigerians: no matter who you cast your vote for, they already know and determine who will be there. They referring to the imaginary cabal or the existing cabal. Only Nigerians can tell that their votes actually do not count. Another reason why many have not turned out could be because of the recent new cash policy, which cast cold on many Nigerians because of the hardship in exchanging their old Naira notes to the new Naira note, and the difficulty in getting their money from the bank. The populace have been forced into a culture of vote transaction over the years, over decades. It has now become a culture to expect politicians to bring money, to bring items, either edible or non-edible items, as gifts for them before they will cast their votes. So if they don't see that, many may not go out to vote. But those who understand the importance of voting definitely turned out to vote on February 25, 2023. But who will blame those who fear for their lives? It is not an exaggeration. This lady here, Jennifer, is an example of the violence that goes with election in Nigeria. She was injured. She was given first aid and she returned to the polling unit to cast her vote. So she has become a symbol of Nigerian youth determination to get their country back from corruption and everything that they don't want in governance. Now, looking at the statistics so far, we said if we put the population of Nigeria at 210 million people, and the number, let's go back to our statistics here. Let's round this up for easy arithmetic to 9 million. If we say 9 million and we estimate Nigerian population to be 210 million. That means only 4.28% of Nigerians voted for the president-elect. This, in essence, may bring up problem or is a government that is not popular, except the president-elect go out of the way to embrace all and bring all together. Another thing is that, as we estimated that 94 million people collected the PVC card, it means that only 44% of the population qualified to vote in the presidential election. And we should not forget that the gubernatorial election is right at the corner. It was postponed and it will hold on March 18, 2023. So the impact or what people see in the presidential election goes a long way to give them confidence to go out and vote in the gubernatorial election on March 18, or cast fear in their hearts. And the government of President Muhammad Buhari said before the presidential election that whoever decide to go out there and steal ballot box should consider that that was going to be his or her last venture of stealing ballot box. And because of that, before the election, Nigerians saw the military vehicles all around in Lagos and some other strategic locations in Nigeria. But this did not deter the thugs, the political thugs, from going out there, stealing ballot box, burning ballot papers, injuring innocent and law-abiding Nigerians. In the overall event, Nigerians are determined to cast their votes, and it is hopeful that in the gubernatorial election, Nigerians will still troop out to exercise their franchise and perform their civic duty to the nation and to determine their own future. The international observers lend credence to the fact that the election was far from free and fair. A free and fair election is election where citizens are able to go out and cast their votes without fear or any intimidation because of who they decide to vote for. But is Nigerian presidential election, that free and fair? No. This is in the affirmative. On March 1, 2023, the United States of America released a press statement on a website, and I read, "The United States congratulates the people of Nigeria, President-elect Tinubu, and all political leaders following the declaration by Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) on the results of the February 25 presidential election. This competitive election represents a new period for Nigerian politics and democracy. Each of the top 3 candidates was the leading vote-getter in 12 states, a remarkable first in Nigeria's modern political era, reflecting the diversity of views that characterized the campaign and the wishes of Nigerian voters. We understand that many Nigerians and some of the parties have expressed frustration about the manner in which the process was conducted and the shortcomings of technical elements that were used for the first time in the presidential election cycle. Nigerians are clearly within their rights to have such concerns and should have high expectations for their electoral processes. We join other international observers in urging INEC to improve in the areas that need the most attention ahead of the March 11 gubernatorial election. There are well-established mechanisms in place for the adjudication of electoral disputes, and we encourage any candidate or party seeking to challenge the outcome to pursue redress through those mechanisms. We call on all parties, candidates, and supporters to refrain from violence or inflammatory rhetoric at this critical time. So, this presidential election is now the result is being contested. And because this is a developing story, we will continue to bring the stories on Nigeria February 25, 2023 presidential election to you as they unfold. Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel and press your notification button so you can be notified as soon as we come live or we upload new video.